Hello, everyone. My name is Adam Almeter, and I am the co-principal trombone this semester for the Wind Symphony. And it is my super excited honor to interview my teacher, Dr. John Whitaker. Dr. Whitaker, how are you doing today on your day off?
Everything's great. I'm at home getting caught up on some work, and so far so good.
Nice, nice. Love the quarter zip sweater you got there. It's
Yeah,
very clean.
yeah. I was sporting the team colors here today.
Good move. Good move. That'll
Yeah,
that'll come up
yeah.
later. Well, let's dive into it. We've talked in the past. This is not your first time being in Champaign. You were hired a couple months ago. I just
hmm
wanted to check in with some of the listeners, and if you wanted to give a brief introduction to your connection to the city and the area.
Yeah, it's my. I was actually born in Danville, which is not too far, I guess, northeast of here a little bit. I have cousins and family that still live in Champaign and Urbana. My family grew up in Gibson City and in Elliott, which are a couple of small little towns in Ford County, I believe, a little bit northwest of Champaign-Urbana. And I've been attending concerts and football games since I was a kid, um, making several trips. For those sorts of things. I attended ISYM as a high school student, and just sort of been a fan of the university and fan of the area for a long time.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, we're all super excited that you're here, and glad that you could join us. Um, I say us like I've been here before you. We both came at the
Well,
same time,
yeah,
but
you
the
we're both
collective student
freshmen.
body. Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So the piece that you're playing this week is Anthony Barfield's Red Sky.
hmm
I know that you've had a connection with him for a long time. If you want to speak to that at all.
Yeah, I first met him in I think it was 2007. I used to teach at and administer the Alessi seminar, and I believe 2007 was the first year that I had attended as the administrator. And Anthony Barfield had written a piece for Joseph Alessi that was going to be, I can't remember if it was the premiere or certainly an early performance, if not the premiere of the work at the seminar. And just met him through that experience and having him around and corresponding and setting everything up. Um, and we've been sort of in touch and really close friends ever since. We found out later, or I found out later, that he actually started his collegiate musical studies at the University of Alabama, where I was on faculty prior to coming to Illinois. He was a
Mhm.
trombone player, and studied with my predecessor. Dan Drill was his name. I mean, it's still his name. Dan is still alive and well and very active in the community. Um, and transferred to Juilliard to study with Mr. Lessie. Um, and then sort of his career took a turn, and he started doing more composing. Now he's a composer and he's an educator, teaches at a couple universities, including Juilliard. He has a music production company, and does a lot of sort of music technology and music production and hip hop, and just an incredible wide range of talents that this guy has. Is really great with a video camera in his hand, really great with a still photography camera in his hand, just sort of all things production and music, and almost sort of influencer-esque in terms of all the different things that he's able to do. And we've collaborated on several projects over the year. I think over the years, I'm getting these out of order, I think, but one of the early projects was a commission that a trombone quartet that I was in commissioned for a work for solo trombone and quartet accompaniment. It's called Soliloquy, and we put that together and was able to record it with Joe Lessie, and it was released on one of our early albums. He wrote a piece of music for the celebration of the birth of my daughter, who's now 16. Um, and several years back, we had a pretty catastrophic tornado hit Tuscaloosa, and he wrote a piece, um, for trombone ensemble that is sort of dedicated to the memory of the people that sort of lost their lives in that tragedy. And I believe since then has been turned into a piece of music for wind band that people have played, and just countless other things and gigs and just trips to visit. And I consider him a really close personal friend, and I'm very honored to have recorded this piece several years ago. I'm the dates, I should have looked this up, but I think in 2015, 2016, something like that. We recorded it with the Alabama Wind Ensemble and released it on a CD release that Anthony did of music that he had composed, with sort of with band in mind. Yeah, I'm thrilled to get to play it again. It's been several years since I've done it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
For sure, for sure. This might be a loaded question. Is there anything that you've rediscovered or discovered for the first time getting another performance at this one?
Um, there are a lot of things that were difficult for me, um, in the previous performances that aren't anymore, and a lot of things that weren't difficult that are. So
Nice.
I believe rediscovery. There's been a lot of discoveries in multiple practice sessions, but when your head's screwed on correctly, the piece really plays itself. He really knows the instrument. I mean, it's really a a real joy to get to play a piece of music written for the instrument that was written by someone that was a really fantastic player. And so things really lay really well on the instrument. And the piece is sort of bookend with really, really sort of beautiful lyric writing, both in the solo trombone part, but also the sort of the harmonies and the way that he structures the accompaniment. So it really is great to play.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. Do you have any spots or moments in the piece that, if you're a first time listener, they can kind of tune into?
yeah, I think the music that starts the piece comes back again at the very end. And there are some subtle differences in terms of some ornamentation that he's written and a couple of other little nuanced things that I think would sort of be interested to keep your ear on to see if you can see the differences. There's a programmatic element there. Things sort of end much on a really calm note, and so a lot of the activity in the solo part is has sort of gone away, and then the melodic content is there, just sort of in its purest form. And I think it's really clever how he's got that crafted.
Yeah, great, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I think is such a unique thing about having a trombone player be the composer too. I mean, for instance, you were mentioning the stuff at the beginning. There's a set of repeated Fs, and listening to it on the recording for the first time, it makes this very almost meditative quality. And
Yeah.
just listening to it, you don't really recognize what's going on, and then seeing you play
It's
that,
sort of this real
yeah,
primal sort of guttural sort of sound that he wants you to make,
yeah.
and then those things go away on purpose
Mhm.
in the back part of the piece, to where those ornamentations and sort of the alternating positions sort of go away and that's, yeah, and then you just sort of have the purest form of those notes. It's really a neat effect.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, this is we're really looking forward to playing this with you as long as I can, not pay attention to your playing and actually focus on what I'm supposed to.
Well,
Um,
I might wave you up from the back row to help me.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, you got someone. But yeah, yeah, the concert is Wednesday at, do you happen to know off the top of your head,
At 7:30 p.m.
seven thirty
in
p.m.
the Krannert Center.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, we're just super excited to have you. I did spring this on Dr. Whitaker at the last moment. I love doing rapid fire questions at the ends of interviews. If you're all right, I got 5 questions.
Let's do
Um,
it.
don't overthink it, but
Okay.
don't underthink it because,
Okay, you got it.
yeah, it might go sideways. So the Trombone Studio is a huge fan of local business Manolo's Pizza.
Yes.
Do you have a preferred topping or slice of pizza that you like in there?
So following your lead, I had my first slice of spotted goat this last week, and that has proven to be my favorite so far.
Nice. Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
All right, this is a tricky one. Blue or orange?
Blue.
Blue? Okay,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it.
Cool, good. All right, and then what some listeners might not know is Dr. Whitaker is a phenomenal photographer, and recently he captured the aurora borealis out in the cornfields. What was your
Hmm.
setup for that?
Camera was a Nikon Z7 II
Okay,
and a 20 millimeter prime f1.8, and it was on a tripod, and it was about a 4 second exposure, and it was an incredible experience to be able to sit out there and watch that pop up on the back of the camera, as well as sort of got my family out of bed at 10 p.m. and said, put some clothes on. We got to drive a little north of town and get out of the light pollution to see it. So now I'm sort of this isn't a rapid fire answer, but I'm sort of geeking out and learning a little bit about the space weather to sort of see when it pops off again, so that I'm prepared to go and spend the night out there. It's really fun.
yeah, yeah, you kind of nailed it the first time, so yeah, we'll just see what
Yeah,
happens from there.
that's right.
Uh, all right, trombone related.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one warm up for the rest of the time that you got stuck playing or got the opportunity to play, what would it be?
You mean an exercise or a packet?
Let's go either Packet or Etude book.
Etude book. If I
Yeah.
were stranded on a desert island and could only take one book, it'd be
Yeah.
Sloshberg.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Everything that you need to know and need to know how to do well is in that book. That would be the one.
Pro move. Pro move. And final question in the
Hmm.
rapid fire round. You're a
Hmm.
big proponent of drum tracks. Do
Yes.
you have a certain drum track that it's like your go-to drum track?
So on the app Drum Beats Plus, I use it's an 808 80s 8 note something is what it's called, which
Okay.
is kind of an interesting thing. 808 that's a tie-in to Anthony Barfield because his latest composition is called the 808 Symphony. And I believe I'm not he's going to text me when he sees this and but I believe 808 is the actual drum machine or
Correct. Yeah.
an early, for in music production terms or whatever, that's an early, in early hip hop, I guess, is 808 is the name. So he's basically written a piece of music for symphony orchestra that's got this track that goes along with it that's incredibly hip. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's
So
outstanding. I'd
yeah,
love to hear that. I'd love to hear that. That was a great tie-in. That was completely unplanned,
it
and
was
and
unplanned.
let's
If
call
we
that
would have
round
tried
done.
to script that, it would have not gone as well. So
No,
that's really
not
good.
even close. Not even close. Well, yeah, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to hearing you play tomorrow night.
Yep. Thanks, Adam.
Awesome. Take care.